Judge, other than the fact that I believe we have the parties present for the Gonzalez case, and we're going to try to get Ms. Ida's case.
Okay, if you want to go ahead and call those, I'm
I
ready.
don't know that. Do we have Officer Pope available?
I'm right here.
Okay. Ms. Ida, if you want to speak to, well, did he need interpreting services? Dailoya Gonzalez? You're on mute, sir. You have to take yourself on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you do not need interpreting services. Is that
No,
correct?
Okay.
All right. And
He has
And in
two
reference to
document
you-
cases. Let me just ask him, sir, was there valid insurance on the vehicle that you were operating at the time of the stop?
There wasn't. It was actually my first time with the vehicle. So I was getting everything in order with it.
Okay, so you understand that if you do not have insurance on the case at the time that you're operating and at the time of the stop, that's a violation of the law. Do you understand that?
I didn't know at the time of the incident, but I do now.
Okay, so what is your plea to failure to maintain insurance? Is it not guilty, guilty, or do you want me to see if you're eligible for a no-law plea?
Before I make a decision on the no insurance, because they cited me for no license plate.
No, they
expired.
cited you for not having proper registration. I hadn't gotten to that charge yet. I was dealing with the insurance first. So
Okay.
what is your plea on the no insurance?
We could possibly nolo.
All right. And now the next charge is not having your registration proper on the vehicle. Was your registration up to date on the vehicle?
Like I said before, it was actually my first time with the vehicle, but I did send some documentations through the email provided in the letter, stating that the next day I did get the insurance and tag for the vehicle.
Okay. When had you just purchased this vehicle?
Yes, sir, I did.
When did you purchase the vehicle in relationship to the date of the stop? And the offense date was January 4, 2023.
January 4th was the stop. That was the exact same day that I got stopped.
That's the day you got stopped. When did you purchase the vehicle?
The exact same day.
You
The same day. Yes, sir. The same day I got stopped, the same day I purchased a vehicle.
Okay, let me just ask, do you have a bill of sale or a title showing that there was a date of purchase on that day?
Well, the title, they already took it into the tag office, but they did have the purchase date behind the tag. Let me see, because I do have the title here.
Okay, so let me help you. Let me help you with this, young man. I
Yes,
need
sir.
you to supply me with a document that shows that you purchased the car on January 4, 2023. So what document do you have that supports that?
I mean, other than the title being registered under my name, and then the taxes I paid for the vehicle.
All right, and have you supplied that to the clerk's office?
I applied to the email provided me through the letter to send the documentation, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Yates or Ms. Payton, do we have any documentation from this young man showing the date of the purchase of the vehicle? And when did you send that, young man?
Yesterday, actually, before noon or a little bit after noon.
And did you confirm that they received it?
Actually, I was trying to get in contact with the clerk's office, but it kept sending me through straight to voicemail. So I
And
didn't get, I'm sorry.
Did you go down to the clerk's office to make sure that they received it?
I did not, Your Honor, due to the time I was at work.
Okay, well, I will tell
We
you.
received it, Judge Freeman.
We did. Okay, does it show the date that he purchased the vehicle on there? And if you're not sure, if you'll tell me what the document is, I can tell you where.
There's a couple different papers that he sent in. Would you like me to share the screen?
Yes, will you please do that?
Of course. Okay, so this is one of the documents right here.
Okay, so this one is just the tag of when he paid it. Okay, so that's not the one that'll show me the date. That's just his emissions. That one doesn't do it either. I'm glad he got it. And this is just the day that he got the insurance. So,
Wait, it's one more.
All right, hopefully the other one is a title or a bill of sale. Yep, that's it. Okay. So this one shows date of purchase on January the 3rd. Okay, so the tag charge, young man, we're going to dismiss. Mr. Prosecutor, because the vehicle was purchased on the 3rd, which would have been the day before the stop, will your office agree to dismiss the tag charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the tag charge, sir, is being dismissed. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you're entering a NOLO plea on the no insurance, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is he eligible for a NOLO plea?
One moment.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
All right, young man, do you understand that by entering into the NOLO plea on the no insurance charge that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into the NOLO plea on the no insurance charge?
Yes, sir.
All right, young man, the fine for that is $595. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The NOLO plea will keep your license from going into suspension, but you will not be able to plead NOLO again to a suspendable offense within the next 5 years. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to pay the $595 in 2 weeks, or do you need a longer period of time?
If possible, a longer period of time,
All right.
please.
Then, young man, I'm gonna place you on probation for 12 months. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. 2 months of your probation will be mandatory. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
After 2 months, if you have paid the fine and stayed current with your monthly probation fees, your probation can end. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
Actually, I was kind of scared to accidentally get out the chat, so
Okay,
I'm trying.
well, why don't you tell us your email address? What
I
is your
have
email?
it, Judge Freeman, from the
Okay.
email that he sent us yesterday.
Okay, then what I will do is that the email you sent yesterday, is that your primary email, young man?
Yes, sir.
All right, wonderful. They're going to send you your plea form to your email by close of business tomorrow, no later. Enter a NOLO plea and send that back. The tag charge has been dismissed. After you have sent back your plea form, you then will receive your probation information where you will be placed on probation for 12 months. 2 months are mandatory, and your probation can end after that has been paid and your NOLO plea has been accepted. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, understand while you are on probation, please make sure that you comply so they do not bring you back in front of the court on a probation revocation calendar. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions you'd like to ask me?
Yes, in regards to my probation, do I have to go see? I do apologize. Do I have to go see? I guess the officer was going to be.
Do you
super.
do you live in the state of Georgia?
I live. Yes, sir.
And what city do you live in?
Forest Park.
Okay, then yes, you will have to report monthly until your probation ends, and they will give you the date that you're supposed to report.
Okay, and then my other question too: if I pay the fine before the 12 months, will I still be on probation before the 12 months?
Yeah, the 2 months are mandatory because of the nature of the offense.
Okay.
Okay, so on your 61st day, if the fine is paid and you've paid your probation fees, then your probation can end.
Okay.
All right, do you have any other questions?
No, sir, that'll be everything.
All right, well, thank you. You can disengage from the call and good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
Take care. All right, Mr. Prosecutor, do you have another interpreting or another case that Ms. Ida might be involved in?
Yeah, well, we need to sound off for Evangelista Solis Ricio to see if they showed up in person. I don't see that they're on the Zoom.
Okay,
I'm
Ms. Ida,
sorry.
do you want to announce for them?
Your Honor,
Yes.
she is here.
Okay,
Okay.
let's see if she
Then I
needs.
believe we have the witnesses here also, Judge.
Okay, let's see if she needs interpreting services. Ask her what is her plea to the failure to yield charge.
¿Cómo se declara al cargo por manejar por no ceder el paso, señorita Evangelista?
No.
No, ¿usted necesita intérprete?
Sí, necesito intérprete para que me hable.
Okay, he does need me, he's pleading nolo.
Thank you. If we can, he's there physically in the courtroom.
Did he see? Did I turn the computer camera on?
Um,
No.
Yes, your camera's off.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, she's right there, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Young lady, do you understand that by entering into the NOLO plea, you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Señorita, usted entiende que declararse nulo aquí lo está haciendo sin el asesoramiento de un abogado. ¿Entendió eso?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Usted también renuncia a obtener un juicio cuando se declara nulo. ¿Entendió eso?
Sí.
Yes.
Are you entering into the plea, young lady, freely and voluntarily?
¿Se está declarando de esta manera por su propia voluntad y libremente?
Sí.
Yes.
And do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into the NOLO plea?
¿Y usted considera que declararse nulo es lo que más le conviene?
Sí.
Yes.
Una pregunta que
I have a question.
tengo para el fiscal. ¿Cómo te digo? Yo vine a pagar el ticket y yo participé en la corte anterior, pero me dijeron que pagando el ticket, automáticamente yo me declaraba culpable y me le daban 3 puntos a mi licencia. Yo tengo una licencia limpia y yo no creo que sea justo.
Okay, before I tried to pay the ticket and they said that if I pay the ticket, they will give me 3 points. I have a clean license. I don't want the license to have any points. I don't think that is fair to add points to my license.
Tell her that if she's eligible for a NOLO plea, that this will become a non-pointable offense.
Si usted califica para el NOLO, con el NOLO no le van a poner puntos a su licencia.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, can you all advise if she's eligible for a NOLO plea?
Yes.
All right, I understand that we have 2 witnesses there in the courtroom.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, can they hear what's going on?
Yes, they can.
Let them know that to the extent that she has entered a NOLO plea and the court will accept it, that they are excused from testimony unless there is something they'd like to say.
Is there something you need to say now? Okay. No, Your Honor, both said they do not have any comments.
All right, tell them thank you so much for coming down to the courthouse.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Se está refiriendo a los testigos que como usted se declaró nulo, no los va a necesitar para el juicio porque no va a haber juicio y le está diciendo que se pueden retirar.
Okay.
Al
The
testigo, a los
court will
testigos.
accept the NOLO plea. Let know the fine amount is $175. Is she able to satisfy that today? Or does she need, can she pay it within 2 weeks? Or does she need a longer period of time?
Ok, el juez acepta su declaración de nulo. La multa que le imponen por este cargo son $175. Lo puede pagar hoy. Necesita más de 2 semanas. Lo puede pagar a más tardar en 2 semanas o hoy. ¿Qué quiere hacer con la multa?
En 2 semanas la puedo pagar.
I can pay it in 2 weeks.
All right. Let her know, please give her plea form to which she will enter a NOLO plea, and then she will be given a 2-week agreement. Ms. Ida, please advise her to comply with the terms of the 2-week agreement.
Señorita, tiene que asegurarse de que cumple con los términos y condiciones del contrato que le están dando para que pague a más tardar en 2 semanas. Le van a dar su documento para que firme cómo se declaró, que se declaró nulo, y también dándole que usted está de acuerdo en que va a pagar a más tardar en 2 semanas.
Okay.
Please
Okay.
advise that failure to comply is violation of a court order.
Si usted no cumple con esto del contrato, entonces hay un desacato a la orden del juez, le podían dar otro cargo y darle otra multa por desacato.
Okay.
Okay.
Ask her, does she have any questions?
¿Usted tiene alguna pregunta?
No, muchísimas gracias.
No, thank you very much.
Okay, tell her thank you, and they will give her plea form for her to sign and her 2-week agreement before she leaves court today.
Okay, antes de que se vaya le van a dar el documento para que firme cómo se declara y también para el contrato de pagos. Okay.
Okay, gracias. Que tengan buen día.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Ms. Ida or Mr. Prosecutor, do either of you all want to sound to see if there's anyone else that needs interpreting services?
Sure. ¿Hay alguna persona que necesite el servicio de una intérprete? Por favor, déjenos saber ahora. Levante la mano si está en el Zoom o abra su micrófono y déjenos saber si necesita intérprete.
All right, then I am
Okay.
going to go down the calendar now to see who is here, unless you have some other matters you want to call first, Mr. Prosecutor.
No, Judge, we can go in order of the calendar.
Okay, Andrea Ali. Andrea Ali. This is going to be an FTA. It is now 8:21 a.m. Marquette Lee or Marquette Lee. FTA? Is it Nayeli Mata?
She's present, Judge. She's on mute.
How are you doing, young lady?
Good, and you?
I am doing fine. You are charged with failure to yield. What is your plea to that? Is it not guilty, guilty, or nolo contendere?
Pleading guilty.
All right. Young lady, do you understand that by entering into the guilty?
Judge,
Yes.
I'm sorry, I should have jumped in earlier. So there's a witness on this matter, but I did speak to Ms. Mata previously. She did a defensive driving course, so we're going to amend that to basic rules on the guilty.
Okay, Ms. Mata, it looks like you have completed a safe driving course. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Prosecutor. Completed a safe driving course. The charge then is being reduced to a basic rules violation, which makes it a non-reportable offense. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Young lady, the fine amount is $175. Are you able to satisfy that in 2 weeks, or do you need a longer period of time?
2 weeks.
Have you typed your name and email address in the chat and sent it to court FPMC?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, do we have her information, Ms. Yates or Ms. Payton?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Mata, do you understand that by entering into the guilty plea, you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
All right, the court will accept your plea. The charge has been reduced to a basic rules violation upon your successful completion. Do we have a copy of her certificate of completion?
It was emailed to my office email, Judge. I can forward it to the court.
Okay, thank you. We will make that part of your permanent file, young lady, and the fine amount is $175, to which you will pay within the next 2 weeks. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you do understand that failure to pay will be violation of a court directive. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions you'd like to ask me?
No, Your Honor.
All right, well, thank you. Since we have your information, I think we said we had her email address. Is that correct?
We do,
Yes,
Judge.
we have it.
All right, then young lady, you can disengage from the call and I hope that you have a nice day.
Thank you, and thank you, prosecutor.
You're welcome.
All right.
Next is Nihal Vorta. If you will please turn your video on.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
How are you doing this morning, sir?
I'm good, sir. How about you?
I am doing fine. You are charged with a red light, running a red light. What is your plea? Is it not guilty, guilty, or nolo contendere?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
All right. Is the officer available in the city ready to proceed with this trial?
Yes, sir.
Judge, the officer is on the Zoom and we are ready to proceed.
All right. Before we start, Mr. Vora, do you have any questions you'd like to ask regarding the process?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so let me tell you what will happen. The city will present their case first.
Mhm.
The officer testifies. You have the right to ask the officer questions. If the city introduces documents, you have the right to inspect those documents before the city sees them. Before the court sees them. Do you understand that?
Okay.
At some point, the city will rest its case. You then have the right to present your case. If you testify, the city has the right to ask you questions. If you present documents, the city has the right to see those documents before the court sees them. And at some point, you will rest your case. And once we've heard from both sides, I will make a decision regarding your guilt or your innocence. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And of course, if an adverse judgment is entered against you, you have the right to appeal that decision to a higher court. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, have you typed your name and email address in the chat and sent it to FPMC?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, do we have his information?
Yes. Yes, we have it.
All right, thank you. Everyone that's going to testify, if you will please raise your right hand. Sir, if you're testifying, I can't see if you, thank you. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? If so, say I do.
I do.
All right, sir. All right, thank you. Mr. Prosecutor, you want to go ahead and proceed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Vora is before the court because on February 27th, 2023, he received a citation for running a red light. That citation was issued by Officer Jackson. Officer Jackson, on the date in question, do you have an opportunity to come in contact with Mr. Vora?
Yes, sir.
And was that contact within the city limits of Forest Park?
Yes, sir.
Can you briefly state the nature of that contact?
Yes, sir. On February 27th, as I was approaching the intersection of Jonesboro Road and Astor Ave, I noticed a vehicle was coming the opposite direction. I was heading southbound, that vehicle was heading northbound. As I approached the intersection, I noticed that the light turned red. All traffic has ceased. I then noticed a vehicle that crossed over the white bulk line and the crosswalk. The vehicle then does an abrupt stop and then attempts to back up behind the line. I then pulled that vehicle over and I explained to Mr. Vord that he actually ran the red light.
Okay, so you actually observed him basically almost going to the intersection while the light was red.
Yes, he crossed over the white
And-
line. Sorry.
And then he tried to correct that by putting himself in reverse and going back to the location where he should have stopped at.
Yes, sir.
No further questions for this witness, Judge.
Sir, do you have any questions you'd like to ask the officer?
No, sir.
All right, does the city rest its case?
The city rests, Judge.
All right, sir, is there any testimony you'd like to provide, or are there any witnesses? It sounds like the officer said that you crossed the balk line on a red light, but you tried to correct it, you stopped and you backed back. So is
Yes,
there
sir.
anything you'd like to say?
Yes, Your Honor. So the light was still yellow as I was approaching the intersection, and as soon as I saw it turn red, I stopped in my tracks, and I believe I also like backed up quite a bit and was behind the white line, but the officer insisted that I just move forward and wait for him. So that's what I did. I followed his order, but I believe that I was back within the white line, and I had stopped before the opposite directions signal turned green.
Okay. Does the city have any questions?
I do. Mr. Vora, I believe you testified that you did cross that white bar, which was the location where you should have stopped. You said that the light was amber or yellow when you were approaching it. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And while you were driving, was it your estimation that you had enough time to go through the intersection and clear before it turned red?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but that just didn't occur. That's why you stopped where you were and backed up. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, once I saw it turning red, I hit my brakes, and then I figured that I should also back up.
Okay, were there any vehicles behind you when you were backing up?
I don't remember. I think maybe there was one car that was
Okay,
behind
were
me.
you able to back up behind that stop bar that's painted on the roadway?
I believe so. Yes.
No further questions for this witness, Judge.
All right. Thank you. Sir, do you rest your case?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So let me just say something to you. You did technically violate this by crossing the balk line on an amber or a red light. Do you understand that? But I do appreciate you trying to correct your conduct. Okay. And I wish that
Yes,
more
sir.
people did what you did. So in this instance, I'm going to find you not guilty of the offense, but let's make sure it doesn't happen again. Okay.
Of course, Your Honor.
All right. You
Yes.
can take care. You've been found not guilty. They will send you your order form showing that you were found not guilty in this trial. Okay.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
All right. Officer Jackson, thank you so much for the way you handled this too. Okay.
Yes, sir, Judge. Thank you.
All right. I think that will take care of both matters. Both of you all can disengage.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a nice day.
All right.
Well, Judge, but look at my calendar. That's it.
I know.
We had a guy on, and he was on for red speed. He had like 4 tickets, but he just dropped off.
Okay. Well, let's give him a minute and see if he comes back. Go ahead, Ms. Yates.
He had stopped by the office yesterday and he indicated that he also had court in Lake City. I informed him to contact Red Speed to let them know that he had court on the same day for 2 different courts. So,
Okay.
Judge, Do we need Officer Estrada on anymore?
We do not. Officer Estrada, thank you. You can be excused.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Have a good
You
one.
take care. You take care of yourself.
Yes,
We
sir.
have
Thank you.
AL3 iPhone. Is that one of the officers or a witness or someone?
That's
Ms.
Miss
Ida.
Ida.
Oh, okay. Miss Ida, that's a
Hi,
wrap.
it's me.
Thank you.
Thank you
That's a
very
wrap.
much.
We're done.
Okay, I'll see you this afternoon.
Absolutely.
Okay, take
What do
care,
we look
everyone.
like
Thank
this
you.
afternoon? What do we look like this afternoon? Hey, Ray.
Oh,
how you
yeah.
doing?
Hey, Your Honor, just quick comment. Do we have any probationers coming in at 9? Okay.
None that I know of. Miss
No.
Green, we know of.
No, they didn't send, they will be here physically at 1, but no
Okay.
BOPs.
Okay, thank you. All right.